In today's video, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of trading Forex full-time. What's up, guys? Welcome back. For those of you who are new, my name is Austin Silver. I'm the co-owner and head of trading and education at ASFX. I appreciate you being here checking out my trading content. Do me a favor before we get into the slides. Hit the subscribe button below me, the red button below me. That way you don't miss any of my future trading videos. Like I said, today we are going to discuss the pros and cons of Forex trading full-time. I think that because I've kind of come through the gauntlet, I've gone full circle here as a retail Forex trader, I can now look back on it and almost speak to myself 5 or 6 years ago when I first found out what trading was. These are the pros and cons that I wish I knew when I got started. So hopefully, if you're new or maybe you're not even trading yet, or maybe you're struggling with your trading, these tips, these pros and cons will hopefully clear the air and really provide you with some clarity on if Forex is for you or maybe it's not. And that's perfectly okay. We have to always remember that not everyone is meant to be a trader. You got to understand that. You got to know yourself. You have to have really good self-awareness if you're going to go down this path. But if you are, and if you think trading is something that is potentially your calling, if it's potentially your path, then these are the pros and cons that I wish I knew when I had first started 5 years ago. So let's get into the first point. My first pro, which I think is the reason a lot of us get into trading in any market, is because all you really need, once you have the knowledge and the skills and the capital, is a Wi-Fi signal and you can generate income. And I think that in today's day and age, it's 2020, right? We have more, what you would call new careers being created every day because the internet is allowing people to make a business out of just an idea. If you have an idea because of the internet, you can monetize that idea. And if you understand that, the internet kind of creates this power for you and me to make money from anywhere, trading is like a 10x to that, because instead of, making little crochet things and selling them online, which is a great business, you can actually, instead of, doing a product for money, here with trading, you can do money for money, right? Which we know from the Robert Kiyosaki quadrant of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We know trading your money for money, being an investor, is the quickest path to long-term wealth. So all of us kind of get into trading, I think, because we want to live this lifestyle that you see I've been able to live over the last few years. Just this year alone, we've been to Punta Cana, we've been to Virginia, you see some of those pictures there, South Carolina, Jamaica twice, probably missing a couple. We went to Baltimore, Florida coming up in March. So we have a lot of things that we're able to do as far as just traveling alone because we can make money anywhere that there's a Wi-Fi signal. Put aside the other business things that I do when it's just talking about trading. That picture you see on the right side here, in Virginia with me sitting there and Riley reading her book, we stayed at a tiny house and I caught my biggest trade of last year from that vacation, from that trip. It was for Riley's birthday. We stayed out in the woods for a week. We had Wi-Fi signal. It was peaceful. It was beautiful. And that's only something that we're able to do because of trading, and because trading is something you can do anywhere with that Wi-Fi signal. So the biggest con that I think we have to talk about first is the fact that you need money to make money, meaning you need big money if you're trying to make big money. 2% of 1,000 is only $20, but 2% of 100,000 is $2,000. And I know that's simple math to you, but I had to put it on paper because a lot of you forget it. A lot of people think that you can open a $100 account and expect to make $5,000 on that account. And it's not gonna happen. Trust me, I've tried it. It doesn't work. You're using an unregulated broker, you're jacking up your leverage, and you're most likely going to blow that account. I've never met a trader that started with $100 or even $500 and took that account and quit their job because of it. It just doesn't happen. Instead, you should settle into a growth mindset, right? Something more long-term. And you should understand that you're gonna need hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in your account if you're going to make this as big as it can be, as big as you want it to be, to get you out of that job and retire your mom, buy her the house, do what you need to do to make your family and you happy. If you want that, you're gonna need more money than just a $1,000 account. You're gonna need more money than a $10,000 account. And I hate to be the one that has to kind of bring down the bad news, but it's logical. You can't make big money with a $500 account. It's not gonna happen. So settle in. I like to tell people, take your coat off, get comfortable. You should understand that if you're going down this path of being a Forex trader, yes, I wrote this as a con, you need money to make money, but it's not really a con if you're growth mindset focused, if you're thinking about the long term, because you know you can slowly grow that account and then you will have that big money that can retire mom, it can buy her the car, it can do whatever you wanna do for your family. I just use that as an example. So a pro, and this kind of ties right off that, is that you have unlimited financial return as a day trader. And we don't talk about that a lot. I don't talk about the actual monetary returns very often. I focus on things like R multiple and percentages, just because I know everybody's account is so different. But what we all share in common is that we all have unlimited financial return in our day trading potential. So you don't want to downplay that. It's something that you want to remind yourself, I think, every day. Remind yourself that this business that you're trying to figure out, this business that you're trying to get consistent in, can lead you to unlimited financial return, which means you can basically do whatever you want if you get good enough, if you get big enough, and if you are patient enough. And I know that that's the corny thing that a lot of trading motivators say. They always tell people, be patient, be patient. But I'm telling you, be patient, and here's the rules you need to follow as you're being patient and the plan that's laid out in front of you to get yourself to the unlimited financial return. You're not going to make unlimited financial returns if you don't have big money in your account. Unlimited financial returns aren't coming off your $5,000 account. They're going to come off your $500,000, your $5 million, your $50 million account. That's where the unlimited financial returns come, because it never stops. You can continue to grow. You can continue to diversify. You can trade with multiple brokers at once, spread your money out, and like I said, diversify it. There's so many things you can do as you level up. So don't forget the fact that there is unlimited financial return in this business. It should motivate you. Now, a con that I think a lot of people let get in their way more often than they need to is the knowledge barrier. People get, even today, I went to the dentist this morning. The lady was asking me, oh my God, as soon as I told her I'm a trader, she's like, oh my God, how do you understand that? Finance, blah, blah, blah. There's just a knowledge barrier. I would say the same thing to somebody that's an American that just learned to speak fluent Spanish. Oh my God, how did you do that? They studied, they put in the work, they gained the knowledge, and now they can apply it. This is the same thing. It is another skill. It's just like being a carpenter. How did that guy get so good at fixing houses and knowing exactly what to do and knowing how to do his measurements and put the wood together exactly whatever carpenters do correctly? How did he get that good? He studied as an apprentice for 10 years under somebody else. Then that guy died and he took his book of business and now he looks like an overnight success, when in reality, he put in years of knowledge to get through the barriers to entry in that business. Trading is the same thing. You've got to put in the work, and you can shorten the learning curve if you find a good system, if you find a good group like we have here. But you have to either way accept the fact that there's going to be a knowledge barrier. If you've never traded, you're not going to know what a candlestick is. If you've never traded Forex, you're not going to know what pips are. And those are things that you got to work your way through. The answers are out there. I've put them out there. Other people have put them out there. I'm not the first one. But if you don't give yourself the time to push through, the knowledge barrier could definitely seem like a con to you. And that's why I labeled it so. Because I think a lot of people get frustrated with the fact that they got to learn something new to potentially go make unlimited financial returns. Like, why are you so short-sighted? Why are humans so short-term focused? If only everybody could back up and just think about 3 to 5 years instead of 3 to 5 months, they're going to find so much more success. And something that I can even just kind of peel off here and give you some info. I've been doing goals daily, once a day, at least, sometimes twice a day. I write them in my journal. I do my weekly goals and then my big picture goals, my year, 5-year kind of goals, the things I'm working towards. And just doing that has helped motivate me to the point that I think new traders should be doing this with their trading goals, because it can motivate you to push through that knowledge barrier. If you stay focused on your goals, if you're writing them every day, how is it going to get frustrating for you when you might not understand something in trading if you know why you're working so hard? Grant Cardone says, if I write my goals down every day, I write them down 360 something times a year, and you only wrote them down on January 1st for the year, who's more likely to accomplish it, me or you? Clearly me, because I'm writing it down, I'm bringing it to existence, I'm bringing focus to it. So if the knowledge barrier in trading is a con to you, try writing down your goals. It might motivate you to push through a little bit more, and maybe you won't see the knowledge barrier as a con. Instead, your perspective can change, and you could be motivated by the fact that you're learning something that most people don't know how to do, which is trading. So another con that we have to talk about is the news. News volatility can definitely be unpredictable, and sometimes it can even force trades to go in your favor, not just against them. Today, some of the guys in our room were trading GBP pairs. There was high impact breaking news on the pound, and it took all of them, everybody that was long, it took them all higher. It made them all more money. So news can work in your favor sometimes, but the volatility that comes behind major events like the China trade deal with the US, or the US-Mexico-Canada trade deal, or Brexit, or what's going on in Venezuela, or what's going on in Hong Kong, these news events can create volatility in certain currency pairs that is unpredictable. So we need to pay attention for that and make sure, and we teach this in the course, make sure that you're not getting stuck in unpredictable news events. Make sure that you're working around the news, working around the noise, and not getting sucked into it. So it is a con, for sure that there's this volatility from these macro events, but it's workable. You can definitely get around this to the point where I don't even worry about it anymore. Of course, the breaking news events happen, but you can go on in the morning, see the schedule of news events, and know exactly what events to avoid like that. So it's a con, but if you know how to work around it, you can make it a pro. Another really important point to mention on the pro side of things is that market hours are great for people that are learning to trade, for part-timers. I know when I started, I was still doing sales at the DJ job. So I was working on the weekends, doing gigs, then all week trying to trade and sell the DJ stuff. So trying to balance all those things and keep my income coming in when I first started, the fact that I could come home at 9 o'clock at night and still check a chart, still do markups on a live market was very beneficial to me. On top of that, I know some of the guys who are in the West Coast and they have jobs going on because I'm on East Coast in the United States. They're on the West Coast, and with their jobs, the hours for them make more sense to trade at night, where for me, it makes more sense to wake up early. Because of Forex being open from Sunday afternoon, 5 o'clock-ish, all the way through Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock-ish, depending on the broker, because it's open all the time, doesn't matter who you are or what job you have. If you can find a consistent time to get to the charts, you can start to understand what's going on in the market. You can understand how you can apply your systems to that time frame in the market, and then you can start to see consistency in that time frame of the market. Whether it's the Asian session, the London session, or the New York session, it doesn't matter. You can find money in either session and make it work consistently for you if you're using a system with clearly defined rules, with clearly defined edge. So a big pro for me, especially for people that are watching that are part-time, or maybe you haven't jumped in yet because you're thinking that the job is so busy you'll never have time for this. Yes, you will. You spend too much time watching Netflix and doing other shit at home after your job to tell me that you don't have time to learn how to trade, because the market's open, candles are moving, and you can be learning how to make money and get yourself out of the job. So take this as a pro. Market hours are great for part-time traders. Out of all the cons that I'm speaking about in this video, I think this is the biggest one. The fact that there is very little regulatory oversight, especially for overseas brokers, and even here in the United States. The US and the UK kind of just put the foot down. They clamped down hard regulations, lowering leverage for regulated brokers and things like that, and just kind of putting their authority into it. The UK does a little bit better, where they're actually going after people that are scamming people, saying they're going to teach them how to trade, but then not actually teaching them how to trade. So the UK, I have to applaud them. Here in the US, they don't even do that. We have scammers here in Florida and things like that, and no one cares about them. They're allowed to go on the internet and say whatever they want and scam people all day. It's crazy. And even another point on that is all the fake accounts that people make of me. You guys have seen it, I'm sure, on Instagram or on Facebook. I've got guys stealing my photos and making completely fake accounts of me, asking people for Bitcoin. And they can do that with no punishment, because I can't find them. I can't do anything except report the account. They can do that with no punishment because there's no regulatory oversight. And then take that a step further. We don't really know what the banks are doing as far as moving money and moving these orders. I know it's mostly algorithms that are driving it, but we don't know how legal those algorithms are really operating. I'm not going to say they're operating illegally, but I'm also not going to guarantee you that they're being 100% legal, because there's no middleman here with the Forex market. It's an OTC market. So we're basically just making deals with our broker who's making a deal with a bank. And that's it. And that's who's doing your trade. Your broker will get orders, a certain amount of units from the bank, and you can trade those units. Now, if you're trading with a unregulated broker, you're just off on your fucking own, because there's clearly no regulatory oversight. No US lawyer or UK lawyer will ever help you sue one of those unregulated brokers if you can't get your money out. And they will give you a hard time once you start making money. I know a guy who had multiple thousands of dollars, I won't even say the broker's name, in an unregulated broker based in Cyprus. He never saw that money. It's basically fake, because the unregulated broker doesn't have to even have it. They took your credit card for funding, which should have been your first red flag, and now you think you're going to get money from them? Not a chance. So the big con here, I think for the whole video, the biggest con is the lighter regulatory oversight in the Forex market. It sucks. It allows scammers to come in, people with Photoshop, they'll steal photos, they'll make shit up. But that's why you as the consumer just has to do research. You've got to look up the people that you're trying to learn from, not just buy a course the first time you see someone with a nice car that you want. You can't just buy the course because they're living on the beach, right? Google me. Google the person that you're trying to learn from. You should see a shit ton of trading content. Don't buy a course from somebody that is only posting photos of their car and their girlfriend and their beach house. That doesn't make any sense. It should be more red flags, more yellow flags than anything else, you know? So understand that because there's lighter regulatory oversight, it opens the doors for a lot of scammy type of business things to happen in this industry. So you as the consumer just need to fight your way through it. Do your research and make sure you know who you're learning from before you cut a check. Now, the other side to the lackadaisical regulatory authorities, or lack of regulatory authorities, I should say, is that Forex is highly liquid, which means you can get in and out, long or short, very easily. The only time that you'll ever see slippage, you'll ever experience spreads opening up and things like that, is during those news events. So if we go back a couple of slides, you remember I was talking about trading around the news. So as long as you continue to trade around the news, you won't get stuck in those illiquid periods, and you'll be able to get in and out of the market in your positions very easy. For example, if I'm trading Euro USD and there's USD news coming in 30 minutes, I'll close the trade 10 minutes, 5 minutes before the news hits, because I know the couple minutes right before news, 3, 2, 1 minute before the news breaks, spreads can go crazy and it gets illiquid. But other than that, the market is very liquid across most currency pairs. If your broker offers it, and if it's a regulated broker, you're going to be able to get in and out very easily. If it's one of these crazy exotic pairs, USD ZAR, you might, or USD TRY, you might have a little bit less liquidity, which can lead to bigger spreads, which can lead to more slippage. Slippage is when you click buy and it lags. Remember video games, like if it lag? That's what slippage is. You hit the button and it takes a couple more seconds before the order actually gets placed, and then the price changes. It's slipped a little bit. So that's where that term comes from. But past the news events, you're not going to see dried up liquidity. The Forex markets are too large. It actually increased in the last 3 years. From 2016 to 2019, it went from 5.3 trillion a day to over $6.4 trillion a day. So there's just more money coming into this market every year. And that's what's attracting more people to get involved in it, like I said back at the beginning of this video. So you have more people getting involved, more money getting involved, which makes it easier to get in and out because everybody's trading in and out very easily. There's always someone willing to buy and there's always someone willing to sell. A huge pro that I think attracts a lot of people to Forex is how easy it is to get started. If you didn't know, you can actually start trading Forex with a demo account, fake money, and you don't even need $25,000 or anything like that in your account as you would in the equity market to get over the pattern day trader rule, to actually start placing trades here as a Forex trader. So there's no financial requirement that you need to meet to finally start putting real money to work after you test on the demo account. So it's super easy to find a regulated broker in whatever country you're in. Just Google it, find the regulated broker, set up the demo account with them, test the edge, test your system that you're trying to use. If it proves profitable on the demo account, boom, fund it with money that you can afford to lose and grow that account slowly over time. It's so simple to set up these demo accounts. It's so simple to communicate with brokers nowadays because of the internet. The internet makes technology makes everything as far as communication faster and easier. So if you're not trading, it's super easy to go set up a demo account and get started in the Forex market. The last pro that I have for you, and this is my favorite one, this is the one that's most important to me. It ties into the first one about you can trade anywhere with a Wi-Fi signal. If you're trading and trading successfully, that means you own your own business. And if you own your own business, that means freedom. So if you're going into trading, you should highly consider trading as an LLC. Talk to your accountant, make sure the LLC is the right entity for you, but you should be trading as a legal business in your country. That way you can use that business for all of its tax advantages and for all of the other advantages that come with being a business owner. One of them being that you don't have a boss. If your business is profitable and successful, you don't have a boss telling you what to do every day. I don't, and I'm grateful for that every single day because of it. Riley's my boss more than anybody else. Past that, if you're trading as a business, you're going to get all those tax advantages, like I said. All of your expenses that have to do with your trading business can be write-offs for you at the end of the year. And we've talked about that in previous videos. So if you want more information on how to treat your trading how to treat your taxes when you're a trader, just check out my channel. I've got a couple other videos about that. But the biggest pro out of this whole video, again, is that if you're trading as an entity, as a legal entity, in whatever country you're in, with a regulated broker, you are officially a trader. You're officially trading as a business, and that creates freedom for you in the long run. If you can commit to a process that is profitable and proven profitable, you're going to be able to create that freedom for yourself and your family. And that's why I'm such a big believer in Forex trading. In trading as a whole, I'm a believer in, but I think Forex is a great market for people that are not trading yet to get started with. And I think even if you are trading and you're not doing Forex yet, it's something you should consider adding to your portfolio because of diversification and because of all the pros that we just named here in this video. Even the cons that I was speaking about can be flipped into pros. So again, the last piece, you are your own business owner when you're trading as an entity, as a legal entity in your country, and that means freedom for you. And that's why you got into trading. You got into trading so you don't have to have a boss, so you don't have to have anybody telling you what to do, and so that you can enjoy this finite thing that we call life as much as possible. So if that's you, if that's who you are, and you've watched this far in the video through all my pros and cons, do me a favor. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what really motivates you to be successful as a trader. I know that you've probably now watched this video and you're thinking, yeah, I need to either be trading Forex or I'm glad that I'm already trading Forex. This is why I'm doing it. Tell me why in the comments. What motivates you to be a Forex trader? Why are you doing this? Because the why is what's going to motivate you to push through the cons, to push through all this shit and keep going and find that consistency that I know you can achieve. So as always, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the attention. You guys are always keeping me engaged, and I just can't thank you enough for that. So if you have any questions, you can drop those down below in the comments as well. If you have another pro or con that you'd like to add to the list, please let me know. I'm more than happy to make sure we squeeze that in. Drop the comment so other people can find value in that as well. And I will see you guys in the next trading video.